Hello, everybody. Okay, so on the fine details, just the fine, tiny little bit of details right now on this, and one of my jars, like this, broke on me, and I had two of them perfect. I need to find another candle one that I have sitting around the house somewhere. And in the meantime, I'm using this Chalk Zero one that I just emptied. I guess it's good that it has a lid. But, yeah, I decided to use that for my clean water jar. And this will be for the water that gets dirtied. And this lid will, when I have another one, maybe I'll just use those two instead. Okay, so, let me get my pens and brushes. I'm saying pens, but they're like water brushes. They're water brushes. So, dropped it. Fumble fingers. This one here is one I'm going to use mostly. I'm going to put these over here. This one here is a water brush. Although you can shake it, it's got like a type of a. The tip moves around like a marker, but it'll do white for highlights. This is a water soluble pen. And I might do a little bit with that before I get started. Just because it's water soluble, I can get this edge over here. Come in with the water soluble pen. Get the waves, a little bit of the waves coming in. Pull your eye just a little bit. Then come back with the a little bit of water to redefine some of the areas. Just to show that that's the waves coming in. And that's just some of the fine details that I need to do before I say this is finished and I sign it. And this is in my watercolor journal, but I'm going to go ahead and sign it. Now, I got these from Sketchbox. And I like this pen so much for fine detail with the water, being water soluble, that I ordered me some more. I haven't quite ordered the other one. Covering some of these little dots that I put in there to be covered up. And now I also have the empty water pens, where you fill it with water and you brush, but I don't have them over here with me right now. And so with this, you just paint like you're painting the water. Like that. When I splattered it the other time and the other thing, I realized that was a mistake. Didn't really want to do that. I don't know if I'm going to want to do anything, but right here I needed to do that. Take this and add some water to these little bit. And just make it look where the waves are coming in. And the water is churning up. There's that where that sandbar is. Because that's what happens when you have that kind of a situation. I don't want too much water in there sometimes. Now let's see. We need some reflections. Tiny little bit. Not that much. Water it down. Dry my brush off. Tap into here just a little bit of reflection. Just a tiny hint of a shadow. That's why I'm using this detail brush, tiny little detail brush. Cover them dots up. They were meant to see below as the water's coming in. Another thing I think I want to do is a little bit of this brown on this bird. Just a little bit. Wipe it down. Give it a little bit of detail. There we got a little bit of speckling happening in his white area. That's enough of that. Now, I wanted to just get a little bit more definition with the sky. He's pretty good already, but I have a color I like. It's like a watercolor gouache that's a solid mass. And if you don't use too much, if you use very little water, it will be transparent, therefore making it transparent watercolor. So this is the color I want to add to the sky. And excuse me, my nose. Allergies in the morning are no fun. So I'm going to dip it into this brush, this other one, and I'm going to come on top of there. I mistakenly took this paper off when I got this first one here with Sketchbox, and then I ordered more colors from it from Blick. That's where I found the Beam paint stones from. Blick. Blick had them. I wanted to define some of the, well, it would help if I had enough water, huh? See, I don't know what's going to happen when you get this stuff around this paint wet. I've never used this kind of paint before. And I guess it would help to do this number with this water spray bottle. That'll get it wet and help it, because in order for it to be opaque like gouache, you're going to have to do it really heavy. My finger felt wet. I just want to get underneath some of these clouds. Add to it. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. It'll show through, because I have a very thin layer. Okay, bring it closer to me. Put it on my lap where it's not going to fall. Oh, yeah. This container that I have it in came with these little things from Chalk Zero. See that plastic thing inside? Perfect for these. I like to try to recycle, reuse much as I can. When I get some of this color down underneath here, I'm going to come back with a little bit of a darker. And that's all I want to do. That color wasn't what I envisioned, really. So when you make a mistake, you have other ways to correct it. And one way I have to correct it is come back with the color that you really would have rather had. I don't want so much water, but I need to water that down. Part of the thing, I wanted to have a difference in the skyline where those islands are. Get some of these white areas out. Leave the white areas for the islands, because to me they looked very dark. I mean, they looked like they didn't really have much vegetation. They looked like rock. That's what I was trying to say. I thought they looked like rock. And so back into my color here. I really am finding that I love working with the Kuretake paints. I love working with the Kuretake paints. Sometimes you paint upside down, sideways, and all kinds of things, and mostly it's to be able to reach. I'm going to have to paint a lot of the upcoming painting of the same thing on the larger scale upside down. A couple of those were just a bit too dark. Yeah, I am using this brush. I wonder if I should have gotten a... Lift that area there. The thing about these sketchbook that I got from Luchetti is you don't have any of the threads to sew the pages together. The paper's like very, very thick. Very, 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 very. Come down here on there to get that little bit of area. I don't want so much water, but I don't want enough water to blend it out, but not so much water that it just pools there. So I tap some of it off. Coming up here on the top of that cloud. I'm letting some of the cloud be wisp. I'm bringing some of the sky down in this area to try to give a contrast. But probably what I need to do lighten that area just a little bit with the paint. I've already gotten it wet, so I don't know if the brush, well, water brush, not pen, water soluble brush, remember. Put it right there just a little bit, come back with my brush to smooth it in. And just tap back into this green here, the lighter green. Tap into it a little bit more. Or come along here with that green. Probably should add some water to the green. Giving a little bit of contrast there. A little bit of light coming on that area. I'm holding it so I can see it. And if you can't see it, you probably wouldn't be able to much anyway. I'm just trying to get some highlights up here. Some nice, good highlights to give contrast. To make this landscape look like it's flowing, like it's three-dimensional instead of flat on your paper. Some of those areas needed to be blended in. More water. Yeah, a little bit darker right there. I guess I need water for that one. Not much darker, just a little bit darker. There was an area I didn't like on this cliff part. So I'm correcting it. I'm going to correct it with some white too. Bring this down straight here. More straight with the white. I might have a gray, but I don't know. But we're going to smooth it into that area. Then come back with a little bit of dark on the edge. Just barely tapping. And I need some contrast right above that. And instead of brushing, I'm just tapping some of these areas. This bush needs a little bit more contrast on it. But that's a little too wet. So I need my paper to lift that. Come back with this one. You need to be able to know that it's bush and not a landmass. That needs more water. And a little bit of lifting. Let's see. Shadows underneath here need to be gotten back to give it that contrast. maybe some darker shadows underneath this other cliff here. Let's pull that little area. A little bit of a shadow where that crack is. And more shadow underneath this other cliff. And a little darker shadow. And then I'm about ready to sign it. And clean out the fishy palette. Okay, I think I'm going to call it finished. And going to sign it. Itty, bitty, bitty, mo. That color I like. Dip into my clean water. Load up my brush. Since this is not going to be going into a picture frame because it's in a journal, I'll just sign it down here at the bottom. I like to find fun places to sign it. That bigger one might have a different place to sign it. Yeah, I do like blue. And I declare it finished. I've signed it. Now to let it totally dry before I put this palette away. But before it totally dries, sneak peek for the bearded irises. But that's going to come after. That big one, I'm going to start working on the one of the same of this bigger one. The 24 by 36 size of the same as this. So, bye now. Going to try to get a good photograph to share with everybody. Well, Mom, I'm finished.